The Chinese creation myth. The creation myths are used in almost every ancient culture to explain how the earth and man were made. The Pangu creation myth, on the other hand, not only explains Chinese origins but also reveals something distinctive about Chinese culture. The tale of man's existence can be traced back thousands of years in Chinese mythology. All was in disarray at the time. For 18 years, the first being Pangu had been sleeping. When he woke one day, he discovered himself in a cosmic egg surrounded by chaos. Pangu decided it was time to come out of the egg because he couldn't move and couldn't even breathe. As a result, he decided to crack open the egg and start restoring order to the world. The first thing he needed to do was to separate the heaven and earth. Because the sky and heaven were stuck together, there was no way to separate them. Then Pangu lifted the light part of the egg which formed the heaven and the sky. Meanwhile, he sank the heavy part of the egg which formed the earth. These two parts become yin, the earth, and yang, heaven and sky respectively. Thus, Pangu became the world's pillar which separates yin and yang. As all things except immortals must die, so did also Pangu. But with his death, creation bloomed, for his body became everything we see around us. His left eye became the sun, while his right became the moon. From the strand of his beards, the stars were formed. His four limbs and five extremities became the edges of the earth and the five mountains. His blood formed the rivers, while his breath became the winds and clouds. His flesh turned into earth, and the hairs on his head became the plants and trees to grow in it. Metals and rocks appeared from his teeth and bones, while his zinc and marl became jade and pearls. Finally, his sweat and fluids give the earth rain so that it could hold life. Perhaps Pangu was also covered in mites and insects from then that became first humans.